Hendrick has such an incredible tradition. So who was the driver, coming up you looked up to?
Yeah, so I was Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I was born in '97. I'm 22. Yeah. So Jimmy, I was 5 or 6 when I started watching.
Wow.
And Jimmy was the first guy that kind of Jeff had brought him up and given him the opportunity. And it's crazy now I'm his teammate, and he's going into his last year too. So that's going to be cool to see.
So tell me about Jimmy Johnson. Obviously when you have somebody that you look up to that's a role model, what's it like when you finally meet them and now you're an equal racing, in the Sprint Cup Series? So tell me about that.
It's tough originally, when you're racing against a lot of guys that are your idols out there. It's hard to move them or bump them or whatever is what you kind of need to do.
Right.
So I think getting over that step is tough, but Jimmy's such a good mentor for me, and he's been so open about what makes him successful. Like yesterday, we were just talking about hydration, and he's big with Gatorade, and so he was telling me about hydration steps that I can do. So he's a super helpful competitor, but at the same time, we're competing on the same racetrack for the checkered flag.
What's one thing about Jimmy Johnson that that most fans don't, or something that maybe people wouldn't think about with Jimmy Johnson?
I think he is very philosophical and very detailed. Some of the things he knows about certain racetracks you wouldn't believe. He takes so much in, and so I feel like he slows down what he's doing, but he's an animal. Like when he gets out there, I mean, he's one of the most aggressive guys that you'll meet on the racetrack, but outside of the racetrack, he's super nice and very laid back.
That's what I found in general about Sprint Cup guys, about NASCAR, is that, it's so unique, the fan structure and how important that is, sponsors and fans, the engagement. I've been to some of the races, it just blows me away that you guys are like doing PR and shaking hands with people before you get in the car. I mean, because, for football, when you leave for the stadium, first of all, you're sequestered.
It just kills me how you can have the focus that you have standing up and doing what you do, and then jump in the car and be ultra focused.
It's all about knowing your environment around your race car is like that's your space. So you have to know every inch. When it's funny when somebody drives with me on the real road, they're like, "Why do you come so close to other cars?" It's like because that's my space. I'm so used to being comfortable in that, and it's funny you talk about the fans and everything. I think it's so different for us to be right around them before the race, but you just have to manage kind of your jar of energy before you get in the car, because ultimately there's nothing like being in the car, and that kind of flips the switch
when you get in.
Once I get in.
So when they say start the engine, it's just you.